Alright boys, what's good? We're back. So today, we're going to be doing a tier list of heroes I think either need a buff, a nerf, a rework, or a fine. Or are fine even. I saw Karki, if you haven't watched that video, you should go watch that video. I saw him do this. I was like, hey, that's a really good idea. Let me do that. So let's just get into it. Alright, Winton. Winton is fine. Winton is perfectly fine. Because Winton... he's not one of those like cheese bag characters. He's like, you know, if you get rolled by a Winston, you can't really complain because Winston is not easy to play effectively. Like, you know, if I get rolled by a Winton, like, obviously I'm annoyed that I got rolled, but like, it's fine, it's Winton. Like, he's clearly good at the game compared to like getting rolled by like one tap Roadhog or like Junkrats, man. I think Winton is perfectly fine. If you're good at Winton, it's justified. He's not that good in the low ranks, but he's good in the high ranks because obviously he's a skill character. So leave him as be. Sigma, oh, wrong button. Sigma. I think he's the most balanced hero in the game. I think he's perfect. I think his secretion is great. His rock is fine now that they've got rid of that one tap combo. I think his shield is fine. Good amount of health. He's just perfect. There's nothing wrong with Sigma. D.Va. I would nerf D.Va a tiny bit. She feels too strong. With, like, her damage is fine, her fighting is fine. The only thing I would nerf is Matrix. I think Matrix lasts a second or two too long. Just a tiny bit. But other than that, I think she's fine. Go away! Okay. Doomfist. He needs a buff. Because, like, if you're a good Doom player, you are really hard to stop. Which is fine, because, you know, he's a high skill character. But you have so much that will stop you. I think Roadhog will stop you, Zarya can stop you, Orisa can stop you, Bastion can stop you, Cassidy can now stop you, Mei can stop you, any flying hero is going to stop you, Reaper's going to stop you, Sim Torbjorn will stop you, Zen Discord Orb will ruin your life. Like, there's a lot that'll stop you, which is a pain. And like, lore-wise, he is top shit. Like, he's him. He's the definition of him. Yet he does so little damage. Like, what I would do is, I think his punch does like 70 damage, something like that. I would increase it by like an extra 10 or 20 damage. So that way, you know, you're punching someone, you're not gonna punch, shoot, oh no, someone's here, I'm done. Like, you can actually just execute people. Which I think he should do, because it's Doomfist. Lore-wise, this man is the shit. He is that guy. He's Himmy. Himmy Butler. He's him. He needs a buff. Orisa, she's fine. She's kind of weak in this meta, but that she's fine. You know, if you have a good coordinated Orisa on your team, very hard to stop her, especially with like a Mercy and like a Kiriko or a Mercy Arna just pumping resources into her. She is a motherfucker to take down. She is very good. But just right now, not ideal, but she's perfectly fine. Roadhog, rework. As soon as they took out the Roadhog one-shot, he became useless. He is not even close. He is the worst tank in this game. Because you can't one-tap people. Like, you need your team to execute on the one-taps. You need to pick people off who's already been injured for, like, you know, it's kind of hard to do. You're just basically a sponge and you just give them ult charge. Like, he's terrible. He's terrible. There's no reason to play a Roadhog whatsoever. Just they need to rework him. I think they are going to rework him, like season 6 or 7. But yeah, he's awful. He needs a rework. Junker Queen. I'd say nerf her a tiny bit. Like, she's pretty good at the moment, which is nice. But I think she still gets a tiny bit too much healing back from her bleed. Because I believe originally her bleed was 1.25, and now it's on ×2. I think put it down to 1.75 or 1.5, should be perfectly fine. Zarya, fine. Zarya is, you know, low floor, high ceiling. You know, anyone can really play Zarya if you have like a Mercy or someone with you. But like, if you're a good Zarya, you can manage your bubbles, you get full charge, you know, like how to play. It's justified you become the shit when you are fully charged. Because obviously, if you're getting fully charged, you're staying up, you're keeping your bubble management, you are justified to be that overpowered. Like, it's justified. She's perfectly fine. Boo. Boo. I would slightly nerf his armor. the shield that he can gather, because you can have a bull on like 100 HP. He can armor up, and then he gets 500 HP if everyone's there. Completely negates the entire time you've just wasted trying to get that bull. Slightly nerf that, and he's fine. Reinhardt. Does Reinhardt need a buff? I think Reinhardt's fine. Reinhardt's fine at the moment. He does a good amount of damage. 5 strikes fine. His shield's good. You know, not many people can like stop him well. Obviously, you have Sombra who can stop him. A good Reaper will stop him. Flying will stop him. Ram will stop him. Other than that, he's solid. You know, he's fine. Ashe is fine. No issue with Ashe. Other than when she's getting pocketed by Mercy, then she does way too much damage. But other than that, Ashe is fine. Bob is sexy as hell. We all love Bob. Bastion, as annoying as Bastion is, he's fine. There's not many Bastion mains, and if they are a Bastion main, chances are they're the funniest person you ever met. They know who they are, they know they're scum, but they love it, and he's fine. He's a lot better than Overwatch 2 than was Overwatch 1. Cassidy, I would say Cassidy's fine, actually, after they retweaked that grenade a bit more, so you can't just Kobe that thing across the map, and it's got the hitbox of a truck. Like, you kind of actually need to throw within the general vicinity of someone. I think that's fine. I think CC is good for the game, because you would have just people like Reaper who can just phase in out of anything that will effectively hurt him. Genji who will just run wild. So you can get soldiers from running away. You can stop Sombras. Tracers, obviously, that's the biggest one. You can just annihilate Tracers. I think it's fine. Echo, I think she needs a slight nerf. It's probably just because I'm a scrub against flying heroes, but my gripe with Echo is she can effectively one-shot you with her bubble beam. I understand that's a main piece of her kit, but that fucking beam is so frustrating, and in my opinion, so easy to use. I think it needs a slight nerf, but, you know, give or take, that's probably just me being salty. Genji's fine. He has 30 ammo now. He's fine. Just leave Genji as B. Hanzo. Nerf or rework? I think nerf. Because with Hanzo, he's the best sniper in the game now, and he can one-tap anyone 200 HP. Any 200 HP hero, they're going to die. Obviously, with Reapers and things like that, 250 HP heroes, if you hit a headshot on them, I think they get down to 10 HP. You can just slap them, or you can just storm arrow them, so it doesn't really matter, you know? Like, or, you know, say a Reaper's death blossoming, bang, one headshot. You don't even need to charge, just shoot a free shot, done. You know, like I said, it's very rare when you're going to run into a Mei, you're going to run into a Reaper who aren't already somewhat damaged. So if you manage to get that shot off first, it's free. You know, so I'd say nerf him. Junkrat, nerf him into the fucking ground. Junkrat is disgusting. He is one of the most easy, no-skill heroes to play. They nerfed his mines down to 100 damage. I thought, fine, that's okay, you can't do your one-shot anymore. And then they buffed it back up to 110, so you can get the one-shot combo. You're like, boy, what? You've just completely nullified your entire point of going after one-shots by allowing him to one-shot. And another thing, his grenades do so much damage, because let's say you're playing First Point Hollywood on offense, and they have a Junkrat. He can just sit there, because obviously it's very, like, you know, cramped up. He can just sit there, and he can just spam grenades in the choke point all game, and there's nothing you're going to do to stop him, because he can sit from range. He does so much damage. Like, what? No, nerf him. Mei. Rework. Put Mei back to the old Mei. I think old Mei was so much better. She was even more fair, because this slow is just annoying. Like, her CC is just trash. Like, yeah, you can stop bull, so on and so on, but that's really it. Like, I thought, oh, cool, you have to use some skill. You're gonna have to hit your shots with the icicle. It doesn't matter. It's useless to just revert her back to old Mei. Farah's, oh no, she don't need a buff. Farah's fine. By herself, she's not that much of a pain with Mercy. She is a bit of a pain in the backside, but you coordinate well, you get a good soldier, a good Cassidy, a Bastion. She's not going to be a problem. Reaper's fine. Reaper does his job effectively. You can either destroy tanks, which is literally his law. He's going to destroy a tank. Or you can be a sneaky boy, get in the back line, and then dog walk any support. Reaper is perfectly fine. It does the job perfectly. Sojourn, I think she needs a buff. Buff or rework? Buff. Yeah, she needs a buff. I think after her first like 5 shots, her bullet spread is disgusting. Like, it is large. Like, I'm not saying make it a beam, but maybe tone down the bullet spread a bit. Maybe slightly increase your railgun. Not your railgun, sorry, the gun damage. And then I think she'll be fine. Soldier, 76. He's fine. He's a tutorial hero. He's fine. Just leave him. Sombra, rework Sombra. Sombra is such a pain in the ass. Because, obviously, I'm a brick main, so she doesn't really bother me because I'm built to stop her. But if you're playing any form of tank, good luck. She's good against widows and stuff like that. But, like, what? She stops Genji from moving. She makes soldiers stop, you know, forget how to run. Completely destroys Orisa. It's not even close. Doomfist gets annihilated. Bull is good. She's a good bull stopper. But she's just a pain. Sim. Nerf Sim. Sim doesn't need a rework. Just nerf her turret damage and then she'll be fine. That'll be the same with Torbjorn. Torbjorn's fine. Just nerf his turret and he'll be fine. Tracer's fine. Tracer is the hardest hero to play in my opinion, and it's not really close. So when you get destroyed by a good Tracer, you know they've put the grind in, and it is justified. Like, you can very clearly tell a new Tracer, a semi-experienced Tracer, and a veteran Tracer. Big differences across the board. I think Tracer is fine, and just leave her as B. If you're good with Tracer, it's justified. Widow, I think she's fine. I think now that you actually kind of have to be engaged, like you have to be within a range to actually be able to get your headshots, I think it's so much better. Because you can actually defend yourself now. Because, like, what? You could sit back on the very back of the map, just hold ADS, and no one could stop you. Winton can't dive far enough, a D.Va couldn't get far enough. The only one realistically that would be able to stop you, either a Hanzo, another Widowmaker, potentially a Genji, an Ashe maybe on a good day, and Sombra. But now you can actually get in there. You can, you know, if you're Soldier 76, for example, or Cassidy, you can actually ding some shots. Ashe, it's a relatively ranged fight. D.Va can actually get to you now. So much more fun. Zen, I think rework Zen. I think his Discord orb is the biggest issue in the game at the moment, because it completely destroys any fun the tank has. Because it's like minus 25 H, like you get an extra 25 damage on tank. It's disgusting because you can just beam tanks. Like it's vile. I think get rid of Discord and give him 2 harmonies, or tone down Discord, and then I think he'll be fine. But as it is, he's overpowered as hell with the Discord. Like him by himself, he's not the most overpowered. It's the Discord that is the issue. Other than that, Zen is perfect. Just adjust Discord or give him 2 healing orbs. Ana's fine. Nerf to her grenade makes her a bit more vulnerable to people getting in the backline, such as Tracer, such as Genji, such as Sombras. But hit a good sleep. If you got a teammate with you like a Brig, it's fine. Brig's fine. There's no issue with Brig. She has counters. She has people she's good against. She can't stun people whenever she wants now, unless it's an ult, and even then it's only every 4 seconds. After using the rally rework, originally I wasn't a fan, but now I actually think I prefer it. I think it's a lot more satisfying. Like, case in point, yesterday I was playing Nepal, and everyone was in the same spot, their team, our team, and the Reaper on their team death blossomed. I immediately rallied and stopped that shit, shut that down. That was so satisfying. I think she's fine. Now they've actually like sorted her out, so she actually gets her armor. I think she's perfect. Baptiste needs a nerf, okay? He does more DPS as a support as literally half of the DPS, the tanks, and yeah, and she's probably the best damage dealing support. On top of that, I think Immortality still gives you too much health. I think it gives you 50 HP. Revert that back. And on controller, when you go to shoot the lamp, like it automatically starts like lifting you up, which is a pain in the ass. But yeah, my main gripe with Bap, he does too much damage. Lucio. Lucio's fine. Lucio's perfectly fine. Good heals, good damage, good speed. If you're good at Lucio, you can tell. You can tell the difference between a good Lucio and a bad Lucio. But yeah, Lucio's fine. Kiriko. Ooh. Is she fine or she need a nerf? Because the only gripe I have is Suzu. That's the only gripe. But I feel like Suzu needs to be in the game to negate half of the abilities, which I think makes her justified because you have to wait so long for it. Yeah, she'll be fine. I think Suzu is healthy for the game because it gets rid of Xenorb, gets rid of CC, gets rid of hacks, gets rid of fire, gets rid of grenades. If you're getting Mei ulted, stops that. Orisa ulted stops that. Pretty sure you can get out of Zarya ult using it. Stops Rhino. I think it's a good ability, but I don't know. I think it's fair enough, but like I don't know, maybe it's just a tad on the strong side. But if BAP gets stuff like immortality, I don't see why Kiriko shouldn't get stuff such as Suzu. Mercy, fuck all of you, reworker. She's overpowered. Because once you put your beams on someone, they are God. They are literally God. Because it's 55 heals per second, and her damage makes anyone overpowered as fuck. You give, you know, it negates Widowmaker, her nerf. Give it to Soldier, give it to Pharah, give it to Cassidy, Genji, basically any DPS, any tank. You're going to have to pump a lot of resource to taking that person out, and it's a pain in the ass. I don't know, maybe buff her heals. Not even buff her heals, just nerf the damage. But I feel like if you nerf the damage, you'll just have to rework it completely, but I don't know. I think she needs a rework. Moira. As much as she pisses me off, as much as I fucking hate her players, I think she's fine. You just need to hit shots and not panic. But fuck me, I hate her. I think the only gripe really is her range. I think she has too much range. But other than that, I'd say she's fine. Like, I think this game is relatively balanced at the moment. But you just have a few things you need to adjust. Such as, you know, making Roadhog actually a viable hero. Nerfing Discord orbs so tanks can have fun. Nerfing turrets, because turrets are so fucking cheese. Just because it's that stuff that requires no talent. Maybe make Doom and Sojourn a bit more viable. And then I think, I think it'll be a good game. So, realistically, I think most people are balanced. There's just a few things I need to tweak, a few things I need to adjust. And then I think the game will be balanced. As long as they don't just come out of left field with like that bullshit cast nerf out of buff, out of nowhere again. And kind of justify their nerfs and buffs, I think the game will be well. But yeah, that's how I would rank everyone at the moment. So if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. You know, if you would do this differently again, let me know. But yeah, anyway, if you liked, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your nan. Yeah, anyway, have a good one. I'll see you boys later.